All right, here's problems 8 and 9 on the study guide. There's definitely a couple things you might want to write down on something that you could use on the final exam. So number 8, these are ones that we should be pretty familiar with by now. For example, an NBA score can be normally distributed with a single team score mean of 94 points and a standard deviation of 9. What is the z-score corresponding to a team who scored 100? Just actually what happened. The team scored 100 minus the mean over standard deviation 9. If you want the actual formula for a z-score, it's just what happened minus the mean. So really we call that x, what happened, minus the mean over standard deviation. And that's kind of interchangeably with population and statistic. What's the normal probability of a team scoring 100? So normal probability, actually look at like a normal curve here with the mean in the center, and it says standard deviation of 9. So that means we'd be at 113, not 113, 103 to 112 to 121. It asked for the normal probability of 100. 100 is roughly about here. And then I believe they asked team scoring 100, we'll put or more. None of these questions ever ask for exactly 100. So in that case, it would be a normal CDF from 100 to something obscenely large, let's say like 1,000, because we know there's no NBA team that scores 1,000. Even Golden State. Mean 94. Standard deviation 9. You should get right about 25%, 2524. And if you wanted to do that with z-scores, go backwards. Yeah, if you didn't calculate this yet, it's about 2/3 or 0.67. If you actually use the z-score, it'll give you the same normal CDF. Low bound is your z-score, 0.67 to an obscenely large z-score, which is like 10. And if its z-score is at 0.1, you'll still get about 25%. What's the normal probability of a team scoring between 100 and 110? I'm not going to write it again. 100 to 110 is going to be less than 25 because 100, we said, is right here. 110 is about here. So we're really only looking at maybe this shaded region right there. So normal CDF, the lower bound, 100, 110, mean 94, standard deviation 9. This should have been about 21, 48%, or 2148. Hey guys, get a kick out of number 9. In a poll of 110 random students, important, 74% identified Mr. O'Connell as the teacher most likely to buy cookies for his students, but then throw them in the trash out of frustration. And then I'll even add, and have the students go into the trash and eat them on their way out. It happened. Does the central limit theorem apply? First of all, you have to tell yourself that 74%. Are you using proportions or are you using means? Hopefully you recognize this is CLT for proportions. So that means you need at least 10 successes, 10 failures, which means 74% times our sample size was 110. And that means 1 minus 74 is 26 times the 110. That's about 81. That's about 28, maybe 29. More like 29. Each of those are over 10. And it does say, it does list it as random. So, yes, CLT applies. What's the standard deviation of the sampling distribution? So standard deviation of a sampling distribution for proportions, this would be our p hat, 1 minus p hat over n square root. So that'd be 74 times 26, decimal point 74, decimal point 26 over 110. And that should be right about 0.04. What's the center of the sampling distribution? The center of a sampling distribution, in this case, is our proportion, 74. Draw that actual sampling distribution, 74. Standard deviation tells us go up by 4, so we have 78, 82, and in the tail right here, we got about 92. I'm sorry, no we don't. 74, 78, 82, 86. Going down, we have 70, we have 66, and 62. What's the probability of finding a sample where 80% of the students identify Mr. O.C. as the garbage cookie teacher and his students being the garbage cookie eaters? Look where 80% would land here. 80% lands about here. Guessing this is not a huge proportion, but since CLT applies, we can use normal CDF. Low bound here, 80. High bound all the way up to like 100%. That's 80, 100%. Center was 74. Standard deviation 04. You should have gotten about 6%. About 6%. So make that cheat sheet this weekend. 1 page of notes for the final exam. Any questions? Shoot me an email. All right. Have a good one.